Stated this at the state banquet celebration of the 50th anniversary of the state held at Arcade Ground, Oke-Moso, Abeokuta. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
Banquet was another convergence of the beauty and the depth of the gifts and resources of the Gateway State. The event aptly celebrated the achievements recorded by the state over the years. Governor Dapo Abiodun thanked all sons and daughters of the state for their contributions and for joining hands with him in building the future of the state. While reaffirming that the Gateway State has achieved a high level of prominence, Abiodun appreciates President Bola Tinubu's support to the state.
I remember when I did office, that day on the 29th of May 2019, where we had lofty dreams and ideas, but the reality was very far from the dreams that we had. But together, slowly and surely, we began to walk our talk, to make promises and keep those promises. From the nooks and crannies of the West to Ogun East to Ogun Central, the state has now occupied each pride of place in the Committee of State, not just in Nigeria, but across the entire world. I was telling President Chicago, I said today, there's a renewed sense of state pride. We don't call it country pride, but there's a renewed sense of state pride. You see people wear address with so much grace and passion. Adre has gone beyond the shores of Nigeria. It is being displayed in different countries all over the world, and people are proud to identify with that thing.
The state deputy governor, Engineer Noimot Salakoyedele, equally assures people of the state that the current administration will continue to work day and night to ensure that the state is better, stronger, and more prosperous.
Of leadership in 2019. He inherited the responsibility of building upon the work of those who had gone before him. Drawing from the depth and talent of men and women across the state, he assembled this executive council, a team of committed men and women united by a sense of duty and a shared resolve to serve. Together, we will task and we have executed to the glory of God His clear vision, one that is focused on progress, inclusion, and sustainable development of all parts of our state.
Former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, says the event is not just a celebration of 50 years, but a celebration of years of excellence.
And I want us to really thank God for all that God has done for us all of these 50 years. But I want to congratulate especially this very, very lucky gentleman standing next to me, our own dear governor, the governor of the state, Prince Dapo Abiodun. And I want to say that he has many achievements, very many. But what I personally feel most satisfied with are the big things, because the big things are the ones that will make a difference. We now have one of the most vibrant special economic zones, a free trade zone of our own. We have a cargo airport of our own, not just any cargo airport, because there are so many people who say they have cargo airport. A functional, game-changing cargo airport.
In their separate remarks, Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide, and Chief Judge of the State, Honorable Justice Mosumola Dipeolu, pledged their support and cooperation to the governor, saying it is only in an atmosphere of peace that development can thrive.
We can see what God is doing through you. We can feel it. We can see it. We can touch it. We can walk on it. Remember that rise on. You will continue to succeed. You will continue to succeed. And at the House of Assembly, We have given you this solidarity and the support and the cooperation. We will not stop giving you that.
Within these 50 years, we thank God that the state judiciary has really moved in leaps and bounds. To the glory of God, we are all alive to celebrate this milestone. And in celebrating, we are celebrating our resilience, our intellect, our industry, our heritage, and enduring unity.
Cutting of the state's 50th anniversary cake wrapped up the occasion. Yusuf Ganilu, OGTV News.
Meanwhile, the state banquet brought together past and present leaders, lawmakers, traditional rulers, and other distinguished guests to reflect on 50 years of governance and development. The colorful ceremony held at the arcade ground of the governor's office, Okemoso, celebrated the contributions of former leaders to the growth of the Gateway State with cultural displays, musical performances, and renewed commitment to the state's future. Benga Adekoya's report is presented in this package.
The Golden Jubilee State Banquet, held inside a specially designed maquette at the arcade ground of the Ogun State Governor's Office, Okemoso, Abeokuta, was tastefully decorated with historical photographs of former governors of Ogun State in recognition of their contributions to the growth and development of the Gateway State since its creation in 1976. The chairman of the Ogun Act 50 Organizing Committee, who also doubles as a secretary to the state government, Tokunbo Talabi, welcomes guests to the special banquet.
And be in a celebration mood because God has done well for us. It is our prayers that we will continue to be the entry of other states, and that as this process starts, it will mark a new beginning.
As Ogun State marks 50 years, speakers describe the moment as one for reflection, gratitude, honesty, and renewed purpose.
Today we are celebrating 50 years anniversary of this same state. The question we want to ask is that, has there been development in Ogun State? The answer is yes, yes, and yes.
Ogun State created 50 years ago to emphasize what has been there all along. It is not become number one state in Nigeria. You have created a lot of encouragement for all industrialists, and that is one of the things that we cherish in your administration.
Speaking on behalf of former deputy governors, Alhaji Shefiu Adigbenga Kaka, a former deputy governor and one-time senator, flanked by two other former deputy governors, commends the progress recorded by the state over the decades.
We remember today the former governors and the former deputy governors that have passed on, but their memories linger on because they perform exceptionally well.
Serving members of the Green and Red Chambers of the National Assembly also speaks glowingly about Ogun State at 50, applauding its steady growth and future prospects.
History will be kind to you. Ogun at 50, we have a Gateway International Airport. Ogun at 50, we are declared an oil-producing state. Ogun at 50, agro-allied business is growing stronger. Ogun at 50, our economy is standing on a very strong footing. Sons and daughters of Ogun State that we have come this far, Ogun at 50. Congratulations, Your Excellency. Congratulations, all the sons and daughters of Ogun State.
Entertainment comes from two notable indigenous musicians, Akbala music legend Alhaji Musiliu Haruna Ishola and Fuji maestro Adewale Ayuba, who thrills guests at the milestone celebration. A A colorful display for the Ogun State Cultural Troupe added glamour to the event. A toast to Ogun State at 50 alongside the cutting of the anniversary cake rounds off the celebration.
Ogun State remains one of the Nigeria's most resource-rich agricultural zones, blessed with fertile land and favorable climate. The state is known as a leading producer of cassava, maize, rice, cocoa, oil palm, kola-nut, cashew, vegetables and livestock on a commercial scale. Ogun State's agricultural output feeds both local industries and urban markets, reinforcing national food security and agro-industrial value chains. This report by Benga Adekoya x-rays the remarkable steps of the Gateway State in its 50 years of existence in this sector.
Before the creation of Ogun State in 1976, the area, which was part of the old Western region and later the Western State, already featured a robust government-driven agricultural scheme based on farm settlements and large-scale plantations, mostly established between 1959 and in the early 1960s under the leadership of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. These initiatives were aimed at modernizing agriculture, curbing rural-urban migration, boosting cash crop production, and tackling food insecurity. Upon its creation in 1976, the state keyed into the growth enhancement scheme of the defunct Western government across all its geopolitical zones with proper maintenance and a whole lot of initiatives. Ogun State, no doubt, hold a significant position in Nigerian agriculture, particularly as a rising up for large-scale rice production and a major producer of cassava, with strategic government initiatives driving growth in rice, cassava, oil palm, cocoa, and livestock, aiming for value addition, food security, and modernization through programs like special agro-industrial processing zones and World Bank support, powered by the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led government.
One of the programs we saw was the Anchor Boras program. We looked at that program and we said, how do we key into it? And the CBN opens its doors to us. It allows for we as a state, being an agrarian state, with about 12,000 square kilometers of arable land, to provide land for intending agripreneurs, we call them, those that want to be entrepreneurs in the area of agriculture. So you can imagine the multiplier effect of this and the impact in terms of wealth creation, job creation, reduction in crime.
The Anchor Boras schemes in the state has nurtured over 40,000 agripreneurs, thus placing the state as one of the food baskets of the nation. A strong analysis of the state's agricultural production indicates that Ogun State has competitive advantages in the cultivation of food crops, proximity to Lagos, the industrial and commercial capital of Nigeria, and by extension Africa, with a population of over 20 million people, relatively stronger purchasing power and international presence, strategically places Ogun State in a very advantaged position for agricultural investment, value chain development, and produce export.
Our focus crops are cassava, maize, and soybean. In that value chain, we have cleared over 9,000 hectares of land for 27,000 smallholder farmers in Ogun State under the OGTV program. Apart from clearing this land, it was cleared at a discount. Farmers only had to pay 35%, and the state government bought the crop for 65% land clearing. We also gave them 50% discount when it came to the cassava stem, herbicide, pesticide, and what have you. This is to reduce the production cost of our cassava and maize farmers in Ogun State. We also have rice production. We have a lot of rice production clusters in Obafemi local government. This program has been able to intervene in the affairs of over 30,000 farmers
realizing the strength of the state to play significant roles in closing food production gaps and saving the economy of the country from collapse and the foreign exchange crisis associated with food importation. The Dapo Abiodun-led government has a focus on the sector as a pillar on which the economy of the state could solidly rest.
We have been able to organize our farmers. We have been able to put them together in groups and clusters. We have been able to register them. So they have extension officers designated to each of those clusters. They go there from time to time to find out what their needs are. We have done an infrastructure need assessment of all those clusters. The farmers themselves told the state government what they require to make their businesses thrive. And all those are being done to ensure that there is abundance in food productivity and also the level of farmers is increased upon. So their margin of profitability is much higher. However, the cost in the market is much lower because most of that productivity has been subsidized by the state government.
Recently, in a bold push to reposition agriculture as a major economic driver, the state government again launched a sweeping mechanization and youth inclusion strategy aimed at boosting food production, strengthening agribusiness, and guaranteeing food security across the state.
We know our farmers are through Ogun State Farmers Information Management System, two, extensive and free capacity building program for a lot of our farmers, over 40,000 of them in the past 2 years. Three, input support. Four, we have been rehabilitating all processing facilities across the length and breadth of Ogun State. Five, we are matching our farmers to off-takers. We have bought over 40 tractors to enhance land preparation, and these tractors have been given discounts to our farmers.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun also received significant recognition for his contribution to agriculture, notably the Governor of the Year Award in Agriculture at the 2020 Nigeria Agriculture Award for transforming Ogun into an agro-industrial hub, creating an investment-friendly environment and supporting farmers through various initiatives like input distribution, land prep for youth, and strategic partnerships. He was equally honored at the Feed Nigeria Summit in Abuja, emphasizing a paradigm shift towards agribusiness and private sector collaboration, including developing special agro-industrial processing zones. The moribund inherited farm settlements across the state are also witnessing the Yellow Roof initiative of the Prince Dapo Abiodun administration, with the construction of poultry pens, fish processing centers, and storage warehouses to improve processing, storage, and value addition. With all these achievements and efforts being put in place, it is safe to say Ogun State in the last 50 years has contributed immensely to the growth of agriculture in Nigeria and has formed a major part in restoring the nation's lost glory in the area of agriculture, which was the mainstay of the nation's economy before the discovery of crude oil.
On the foreign scene, the United States has deployed a small team of troops to Nigeria, the first official U.S. military presence on the ground since airstrikes targeted terrorists on Christmas Day 2025. The deployment of Nigeria follows airstrikes ordered by President Donald Trump in December 2025 on what he described as Islamic State targets in the country. Trump had also indicated that further U.S. military action in Nigeria could follow. U.S. had been conducting surveillance flights over Nigeria from neighboring Ghana since at least late November 2025, providing intelligence support ahead of the December strikes. 5 decades of excellence, hard work, integrity, and passion. 50 SHS to Ogun State. Thank you for watching the news at 2. Do join us for the comprehensive reports at 8 p.m. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.